A crochet boho hippie festival bralette tutorial.
We're gonna start with a slip knot and you're gonna chain 5. This video I recorded before I had my testing and I only chained 4. It's not gonna affect the construct or fit of the top, but it will make attaching the straps easier. So I see that I chained 4, but go ahead and chain 5. In the third loop from the chain, or from the hook, excuse me, we're gonna go ahead and do a double crochet, just like I did here. Once you do the double crochet, you should have 2 chains left. So in that next chain, you're gonna do another double crochet. And then in the last chain, you're gonna do a double crochet increase, meaning 2 double crochets. That, my dears, will bring you to a total of 5 double crochets, okay? You should have 5 double crochets to start your first row of the triangle portion of the bralette. So once you get that down, go ahead and chain 2. We're chaining 2 after each row, and we're counting the chain 2 as a double crochet. So go ahead and double crochet into that same stitch as the chain 2, just like I showed you there. So that is also going to be a increase in the beginning of the row and an increase at the end of each row, okay? So once we're done with this second row, we should have a total of 7 double crochets each row. And I'm showing you right here really quick. Sometimes that last stitch looks like it belongs on the corner of your project, but it's actually is a stitch. So it is helpful to count just to make sure you have increased 2 double crochets for your count at the end of each row. Okay, so that is basically how you do a triangle anything. You increase at the edge of the beginning and sorry, you do an increase of your stitch at the beginning and the end of each row. So depending on the size, you go ahead and complete that many rows. This particular one, I think I am making it a medium, so that's going to be 8 rows for the medium. Now, if you're using the same yarn, you don't have to fasten off, but if you are using a different yarn like I am in this tutorial, go ahead and start and find the corner loop. Regardless if you are starting a different color or not, you're gonna go ahead and start the mesh underbust with a chain 5. And I'm trying to get that together for you here. Okay, I recommend for beginners, sorry, my daughter is in the background. I recommend for beginners to only, in order to have as less loose ends as possible, you want to do the same color, okay? But we're going to start with a chain 5 regardless, and we're going to turn our work. You're going to skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, and in that third stitch, do a double crochet. Then you're going to chain 2, skip 2 stitches again, 1, 2, and in the third stitch, double crochet. You're going to complete that sequence, chain 2, skip 2 stitches, double crochet until you get to the end. Now, in certain sizes, you'll find when you get to the end, you only have to skip 1, and in the medium is one of those tops. You only have to skip 1. It's fine. Again, it's not going to affect the look, construct, or fit of your bralette. So once we get to the end, in that corner stitch, you're going to do your double crochet. After you do your double crochet, you're going to go ahead and again chain 5. And once you chain 5, you're going to go ahead and turn your work and prepare for the next row. As you can see, I went ahead and did a double crochet into that row of chain 2s. You're going to skip the double crochets for now and just go ahead and double crochet in the chain 2 and then do a chain 2. Once you do that, as you can see right there, in addition to the chain 2, I also did a double crochet into the edge of that stitch. So the 3rd loop from the bottom, I went ahead and did the double crochet. I did 3 rows of the mesh underbust, and now here I'm starting the side straps. Sorry, it's a little fast, but I did a chain 5, then double crocheted into that row above. Then I did a chain 2, again, double crocheting right now as we speak into that chain above, and then chain 2. And I'm going to do another double crochet right into the last row of the triangle bralette. That is how you start off the side straps. So you should have 3 mesh loops. I chain 5. Turn my work, and again repeat that sequence, but now you're going right into the double crochet. Chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet into the 3rd stitch from the bottom. 3rd chain from the bottom, excuse me. You're going to do that until you have a total of 6 rows of the 3 loop sequence. Now I'm finished with the 3 loop sequence. Now I'm going to show you guys how to do the 2 sequence. So you chain 5. It's very similar. Instead of double crocheting into the double crochet, you're going to double crochet right in that center loop. Right there to transition into 2 loops. Then you're going to chain 2. Then you're going to double crochet in that 3rd chain from the bottom, just as I did there. Then you're going to chain 5. See, now you have 2 loops. Go ahead and chain 5 and repeat the same process you did. It'll be chain 5, double crochet into that next double crochet, not into the loop, but into the double crochet. Then you're going to chain 2. And then you're going to double crochet into the 3rd loop, the 3rd chain from the bottom. Then you're going to chain 5 and repeat that sequence for 2 loops for a total of another 6 rows. So you'll have 6 rows of the 3 mesh loops, and you'll have 6 rows of the 2 mesh loops like I have here. I tried to do a different angle, thinking it might be helpful to some people who kind of are visuals. I don't know if it was helpful, but I'm going to try this angle for a little bit, and then I'm going to continue the other angle. But we're switching to the single loop mesh rows. Same thing, chain 5, skip over that center stitch completely, and you're just going to go to the opposite end of the chain 5 and do a double crochet into the 3rd chain from the bottom, just as I'm about to do here. I'm trying to make sure it's visible, so it's going to take me a minute, but if you kind of already understand the sequence here, just go ahead and enter your double crochet into that 3rd chain from the bottom there, as I'm trying to show you here so very closely. Yeah. This kind of is one of, for me, again, like when you're making a pattern and you're doing it over and over in your head, you know what to do. But this ended up being kind of the, if there was a most difficult part, this ended up being the most difficult part for some of my testers. Just trying to understand how it gradually got, the mesh loops got decreased. So that's just it. And for this single loops, you literally just chain 5, double crochet into the third chain from the bottom. Chain 5, double crochet into the third chain from the bottom. It takes a while, but once you get it going and you get the flow of it, you'll almost do way too many than you need. And for those, we're going to do a total of 20. You can do anywhere from 12 to 20. I think the signature look of this particular bralette are the elongated mesh straps. So I like to make them long. You can even do it longer if you like. But on all my tops, I do a total of 20 single mesh loop rows. So you start off with 6 3-loop mesh rows, 6 2-loop mesh rows, then you do 20 single loop mesh rows for the elongated side straps. And I'm just coming back to this angle because I felt like that angle may have been a bit confusing for some, but yeah, it is the same thing as I stated before. So if you kind of got it down and you're ready to do the upper straps, you can go ahead and fast forward through this part of the video. But yeah, you are doing chain 5 and then the double crochet into that third loop from the bottom. Once you have both of your parts and their side mesh loops, or side elongated straps, you're going to go ahead and slip stitch them together in the center. For this part, I would recommend using only one piece of yarn. And if you like the open bust and support is not an issue for you, you can stop after you get past the mesh underbust. But if you want it to close in a little bit more and you want a little more support, for myself, I wear a large or extra large sometimes, and I go up into the second row of the triangle, the double crochet triangle, as you can see there. So this part, during testing, I don't mind the center, how it looks so much, but during the testing, one of my testers came up with a more seamless way to do the underbust, which is basically doing the triangle, the double crochet triangles first, connecting those with a row of slip stitches, and then go ahead and doing, the 3 rows of the mesh underbust. I may do a video of that. I don't know. If you guys want me to, let me know. But this is how this looks. It is quick and easy. And now that we have them together, we're going to go ahead and start with the top straps. For the top straps, you're going to go ahead and connect your piece at the top of the first double crochet of that row of 5. And you're going to do, once you attach it, however your preferred attaching method is, you're going to do chain 5. Then you're going to do a double crochet into the center of those 5 double crochets. So that'll be the 3rd stitch from skip 1 and then go into the next one. There you go. You do that double crochet. Sorry, you can't really see there, but you know how to do a double crochet at this point in the project. Then you're going to chain 2 and then skip another and go into that first chain, that first double crochet stitch, of the very first row. Once you do that, you're going to do a total of 3 rows of the 2 mesh loops for the straps. And once you have 3 rows of the 2 mesh loops, you're going to transition into 1 mesh loop, and you can do that just like you did for the elongated side straps. And for the single mesh loops, for the top, I do a total of 15 to 18 loops of the single loops. Again, the mesh straps is this kind of part of the boho hippie coastal, signature look of the top. But you're welcome to do what feels comfortable to you. But when I make them, I do 3 double mesh loops, and then I do 15 to 18 individual mesh loops. And that is basically, obviously do it to the other side. Weave in all your ends. I find it extremely helpful to weave in your ends as you go for this project, just so once you're done, obviously, like for most projects. But this is my first pattern. I'm very proud of it. It works up quick. I am coming up with patterns, wearable patterns that work up really quick, so you can save time and sell them for a reasonable price, in your online shops and your pop-up shops. But it is super cute. A lot of my testers have talked about how extremely comfortable and supportive it is. Whether you're small or large, go ahead and try this out and let me know how you